Three systems to track. Thank you for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. It is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, and we're watching these systems forming, moving in. Each one will be a little bit different. The first two a bit more similar, and then that third one could be a bigger system that we are tracking. So let me show you what's going on system by system. And thank you for being part of Snow Bros. Thousands of new subscribers over just the last few weeks. Thank you for being one of those. Matt and I will put out some additional updates on these systems moving in. Here's that first one that is forming, and you can see it here as we work our way deeper into the day. It's that thin line, a thin line of snow, thin line of rain that we're going to be seeing setting up anywhere from Michigan, Thunder Bay. We get our way into Canada, back through New England. A lot of us will have some rain out of this. I keep it in perspective, right? This is a no hype channel, so a lot of us will have some rain, some of us some of the snow. Then system number two, this is Friday afternoon. Similar looking, right? But a few more of us will get some additional snow. We'll cover that. We'll go over the snow totals through the weekend in this video, and then deeper into the weekend and early next week. This is the big question mark as of now. This is the third and stronger system, trying to take the form of a nor'easter at least briefly, but it may not move up to the north. It may not get as far north as, say, Hartford and Boston. It may be more of a mid-Atlantic system. So I want to show you that as well. That's what we'll be tracking together. Now, taking a look at what we could expect here as we go out in time, looking at the first area that we are watching. You see right through here, this is that snow band that we're watching. Here's the rain. Again, the snow rain line with this is a little bit more to the north. That means New Jersey, Long Island, Pennsylvania, south through DC. We are not looking at accumulating snow out of this. We're looking at mainly a rain event from Syracuse, Utica, Albany, back through Hartford, kind of right on the edge of it. And you see us getting clipped by some of that snow. It may change over briefly. This is by later tonight with some of that cold air in place. Sun goes down, that sort of thing. We may get a change over the Cape, the islands, back through Long Island. Then that area quickly moves away. So it's not a huge area. That's system number one. Let's get into system number two here. Very similar. You see it here. Here's Thunder Bay. You get back toward Wisconsin, Michigan. Here's that rain that we're seeing, some snow on the top side of it. Very similar, but a few more of us will get some snow out of this. So this is Friday morning. This is Friday midday. And you see as we work our way, Quebec, Ontario, some of that snow in some spots, watching that. Here's Toronto though, some of the rain. And that's why I mentioned a lot of us actually seeing some rain out of this, not necessarily some of the snow. Here's Albany, some of the snow, the mix not too far away. And then as we work our way, this is Friday at 2 o'clock, watching out for some of the snow. Hartford, we are going to be on the edge of both of these systems. Really a tough call around Hartford, around Manchester, Waterbury. Maybe we get a little bit of sleet mixed in. But Western Mass, Springfield, Holyoke, and then to the north, Saratoga Springs as we work our way into New York. Watching Vermont, New Hampshire, a better chance of some of the snow as we work our way into Friday afternoon. It does include the South Shore swinging back toward Boston. Then as we work our way into Friday evening, still parts of New York, upstate, back through Vermont, New Hampshire, southern sections of Maine, some of that snow possible. And as it kind of winds up and moves away, it could be a little heavier. Sometimes we get this as things kind of work away. It's not a big system. Just on the backside though, we may get a pocket of some heavier snow around Boston. So we're going to keep an eye on that as we work our way into Friday night. Then by the time we get into Saturday, this works away. And for the most part, this energy stays away from Nova Scotia, covering the Atlantic region of Canada as well. Now here's the third system that we will be watching developing. It tries to become almost nor'easter-like, right? But not necessarily that true classic nor'easter. Once again, the rain, the Carolinas, North and South Carolina. We're dealing with rain out of this system. But with this developing a little bit more to the south, that could bring some extra snow to the south. This one will be more of a southern snow event, or at least a little bit more to the south, mid-Atlantic, if you will, with some of the snow. Big question marks. I'll let you know what I know and what I don't know. We need to see how this develops, right? Around DC, we may have some rain by Sunday afternoon, but not too far away. We have some of the snow. Carlisle back toward Lancaster, dealing with some of the snow. Waynesboro on the edge, the mix through the panhandle of Maryland. And then you see here by 7 p.m., as this starts to wind up near the coast, on the backside, it wraps in that cool air and some of that snow that may get all the way down toward the Tidewater area. Richmond, even if it does, Fredericksburg, even if it does, snow mountains shouldn't be too terribly high. We're going to monitor. Matt and I are going to be fine-tuning this, so if you're subscribed, you'll get those additional notifications. But again, across Delmarva, watching New Jersey, watching Long Island carefully with this. This is Sunday night. backside some of the snow, Loudoun County, Culpeper, Manassas, Fairfax, dealing with some of the snow back through Arlington, Alexandria, Richmond, over toward Virginia Beach, Newport News, seeing some of that snow, and then at least some snow showers, Delmarva, so watching Delaware, Dover, then swinging back toward New Jersey. Now, once again, as this pulls away, there could be a decent little clip of snow along the Jersey shore. Got you covered in New Jersey, and then watching Long Island. But for the most part, if this were to stay on track, this would still keep, if this were to be what happens, it would keep high totals away from much of New Jersey and away from New York City and away from Long Island. But you can see how we're on the edge of it. We're going to monitor for southern New England. May get clipped by some of that snow, the Cape and the islands by the time we get into Monday afternoon. So kind of a long haul through the day on Monday watching this. This one, though, will pivot a little bit to the north. It'll clip by Nova Scotia, maybe even Prince Edward Island and parts of New Brunswick, and then Newfoundland and the Avalon Peninsula as we work our way into Tuesday. So this third one will eventually wind up, and we'll be watching the Atlantic region of Canada with it. Big question marks, though, southern New England, back through New Jersey, and again, the mid-Atlantic, where exactly the rain and snow sets up. Now, let me show you some of these snow totals. 96-hour snow total. This is what Matt and I are leaning to. We don't just pump out data. We look at the models. We tweak the models behind the scenes based on what we're seeing. This here, what I'm about to show you, covers the first two systems. That third one, not sure about yet. I want to get a good handle on the track of it first to know where we'll have some snow versus some rain. So this would be the first two systems. And again, keeping it in perspective, you get toward DC, the first two, this is a non-event as far as snow goes, right? Even back through much of New Jersey, Delaware, even much of Pennsylvania. We're looking at the potential of snow through Saturday night, very early Sunday morning with this. So these are the totals for the first two, and you see how it's just not a lot. Hartford, I mentioned, on the edge of things. Rhode Island, we may get an inch with both of these systems, maybe. That'll be a possibility around Newport, maybe a couple as we work our way toward Providence, right? Woonsocket, maybe a couple over toward Foxborough. We may get 2 to 3. Attleboro on the edge of that as well. Here's Worcester as we get toward Holy Cross, back toward Boston. That's where we could get 5 inches. Again, this is a double system. These are both of the first two systems. Cape, we could have some of that mixing that would limit any total. So this gives us a feel. Poughkeepsie, maybe about an inch of some of the snow with both of these systems. But as I mentioned, upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, back through southern Maine. That's where we could see some spots in this yellow shading here of about 6 inches of some snow. That'll be a possibility. And then watching the Atlantic region of Canada with the first two systems, you could see upwards of about 10 centimeters, Nova Scotia, a little bit more as we swing to the north. And then Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, though, or excuse me, Newfoundland, the Avalon Peninsula, we're watching more so with that third system that will be moving in, which is not included in these totals. And then I want to swing back here. Chicago, most of the action staying to the north. You saw these first two systems set up right around International Falls and then swinging back toward Thunder Bay, where there could be 45 centimeters of snow, but it's this pocket in here that will be sweeping across. And then all eyes will be on what develops, how that third system does develop deeper into the weekend and early next week. So the first two systems rather similar. The rain snow line to the north, which means a lot of us dealing with the rain out of these. Again, in perspective on this channel. The third system, larger and stronger. That'll be a close call. We're going to monitor for changes. We'll put out further updates on that as we watch that develop. So 3 areas to watch. We got you covered right here. We'll be going through your comments throughout the day. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being part of Snow Bros. Have a really good day ahead.